I was recently asked why we use letters of intent, LOIs, when most all of them are expressly non-binding. The short answer, used correctly, they save time, money, and potential head trauma down the road. The best way to describe the intent and proper use of a non-binding LOI is to walk you through what I call a cold negotiation, meaning no prior contact between two experienced negotiators. In this example, the first negotiator, let's call her the buyer, approaches the other and says something like, "Hey, are you interested in selling that widget?" The second negotiator, the seller in this example, says, "I don't know. You interested in buying it?" The seller responds, "I guess for the right price. What would you sell it for?" To which the experienced negotiator responds, "I don't know. What would you pay for it?" This part where no one wants to make the opening offer can go on ad infinitum, if allowed. But remember, in this example, both negotiators are smart and experienced. So if the buyer really wants the widget, she will make the opening offer something like this: "Well, I'd pay up to X dollars under certain conditions. Would you take that?" To which the smart seller responds, "I might consider that. What are the conditions?" Again, this scenario can drag on for months. Or instead of this whole process, the buyer can initially put together and present a written LOI to the potential seller. Now again, this buyer is smart. She knows that the LOI needs to be comprehensive of all the things that she will need from the transaction, leaving very little for negotiation in the definitive documents once the LOI is signed. But she also knows that the LOI is the first communication in her negotiation, so she does not want to scare off the potential seller by over-lawyering the document. So she identifies with great detail the subject of the negotiation, the asset or the service or collaboration, and also the compensation in terms of payment. Then in general descriptive terms, with some specifics she will need, identifies all conditions important to her in the transaction. This might include things like time for performance, condition of the asset, due diligence review, escrow and/or title matters, representations and warranties, and indemnities. She also knows she may want to obtain the asset in a related entity, so she allows herself the ability to nominate the actual buyer for the definitive agreements. Finally, she makes the LOI non-binding and subject to the negotiation and execution of the definitive documents. Now, if the buyer signs the LOI, all that's left is the wordsmithing of the lawyers. If not, she has not wasted any time, money, or angst negotiating a deal with respect to which the parties were never on the same page. And there you have it, folks. The reason we use non-binding LOIs.